All right, so check this out right here. I'm a used car dealer, and I actually sell cars that are $5,000 and under, and this is my car lot, as pathetic as it looks. None of those cars are for sale. We're getting those ready. We're actually pretty much out of cars. And this is a very weird situation for us to be dealing with this time of year. Usually if we're out of cars, it means we can't buy, and that's not the situation at all. I've actually been to some auctions recently. There was one just a few days ago. I was able to go and buy 12 cars at one auction, and this shouldn't be happening. Usually what happens in the car market is we sell a lot of cars, we sell out all of our cars, and then we go to auction, and then because we're able to sell cars so much, every other dealer is able to do the same thing too. But that's not the case. This is just, it's blowing my mind, because this is so rare for us to be empty with cars and then go to the auction and be able to reload. That never happens. Stay with me. I'm gonna take you down there. We're gonna show you some of these cars. All right, let me pick you up. Sorry about, oh, are you getting sick? You're getting sick? So look all up there on that hill up there. So these are all cars that we bought recently. And then look down there. These are also a bunch of cars that we bought recently. So I only have literally like 10 cars that I'm selling right now. And all these other cars, we are behind getting them ready because we were able to buy them so quickly. Usually that's not the case. What we'll do is we'll be able to go to auction. We'll buy a few cars at the auction. Let's sit you right here so you can see those cars, and let's angle you down a little bit, get you a nice look at that Honda Civic. So typically what will happen, we'll sell out our cars, we'll be able to go to auction, just buy a few cars, get them in, get them ready, few days, turnaround time, whatever, and we're able to sell. But not what we've been doing lately. Buy them all at once, sell them all at once, buy them all at once, sell them all at once, buy them all at once, sell them all at once. And why aren't other dealers able to do this? Well, I told you earlier in this video, what do? I sell cars that are $2,500 and under. So what's happening with this market right now that I'm able to do this and other car dealers aren't able to do the same thing? Well, what I'm doing is, showed you at the first of the video, $5,000 and under. What are consumers wanting right now? They're wanting affordable cars. That's what we have. They can't go. The average new car payment, what is it? It's $750 a month. The average used car payment is over $500. People cannot do that in this economy. And I am proof of it right here, where my business is thriving. Other dealers are crying and they can't go to auction and reload their stock because they're not selling anything. We have another element of banks getting tighter. I'm hearing it from a lot of other dealers that I talk to on a regular basis. They can't get customers into loans. So what's happening to these customers that can't get approved for loans? They're saving up $2,500, $3,000, the kind of cars that I sell. They're coming to our lot. They're buying cars from me. That's why we are smashing it right now, why other car dealers aren't. That's also a big tell where, okay, I go to the auction, these other car dealers aren't doing what they think they should be doing. They can't reload cars now, so I'm able to buy cars for cheap. And I can give you an example of this right here. So this is a 2005 Honda Civic. I bought it at auction for $1,400. And you know what? I bought a lot more cars right in that price range, and later on, I'll be able to tell you exactly what I paid for a lot of these. All right, so let's talk about something super frustrating: spam calls and texts. And that's why I want to thank today's sponsor, Aura. Now, we all know we're in campaign season right now, and I'm getting bombarded by spam calls asking me to take a political survey or asking me which way I lean. This is happening all the time right now. One big reason we all get so many of these spam messages is because companies can't keep our data safe. For example, AT&T recently had a massive data breach where nearly all their customers' call and text records were exposed. So what can you do to protect yourself? Get Aura. Aura alerts you if your phone number or any other sensitive info is compromised. Plus, get fast fraud alerts if anyone tries to use your data to access your accounts. Aura does so much more to keep you and your family safe. It includes transaction monitoring, a VPN, antivirus, a password manager, parental controls, and identity theft insurance, all in one affordable app.
Aura also filters out harmful text messages by blocking known spam numbers and scanning links for phishing threats. I don't want to be left vulnerable to data breaches, and you shouldn't either. So check out Aura. You can go down to the link below and get a 14-day free trial to see if any of your data has been exposed.
All right, so this one right here is a 2009 Jeep Patriot, and it's got 174,000 miles, and we only paid $1,600 for this. Now, a lot of these cars that I'm showing you, they're going to have buyer's fee on top of that. I think this car right here, somewhere around like $275, $300 is what we had to pay on top of that. But still, this is a vehicle, let's say 6 months, 12 months ago. There's no way I'm even touching this thing for $1,600. What we're going to end up having to pay for this when things were still crazy was going to be closer to $3,000. That's how much prices have dropped in this range of car just over the last 6 to 12 months. And I'll tell you why, and a lot of it boils down to greed on the dealer side. So what happens is, okay, dealers that were paying $3,000 for this car, they were selling it for $5,000. People were buying it for that, and now it's not the case. So these, I say mid-tier cars was what these used to be, but now it's dropping down to the lower tier stuff that I can buy. Now, because they can't get people approved for loans, and because people are not going to pay for $5,000 for this car, it's almost not worth it to a lot of these dealers, on top of them already having a ton of inventory that they can't sell. So they're not willing to pay up for these cars anymore because they can't sell them. They fall through the cracks. I'm able to buy it for $1,600. I can sell for $3,000, move it on. Let's get somebody a good car they can afford, $3,000, roll it. This is the kind of car that's falling into my tier now. So we're having really two big examples of what's happening. We're inheriting a lot more customers because they can't afford these higher end cars, because they can't even afford these mid-tier cars. And then we're having, these dealers that were buying these mid-tier cars that now they can't sell it for crazy amounts of money. They're just not buying them anymore. So I'm having prices come down to the auction, and I'm having more consumers come into my building to buy cars. And then another aspect of it is, because these mid-tier cars are falling, then the availability of cars that I'm actually buying at auction, the amount of cars that I'm buying at auction is getting greater, because now they're falling into my range of that under $5,000 car. So we're really just hitting the perfect storm for my business. More customers, more cars, cheaper prices. That's what I want to see. All right, so let me get over the buckets. Okay, this one is really one I want to show you because this has not happened in a long time. This is a Toyota Sienna. Not in great shape as far as cleanliness. Whatever, we can clean the car up. I only paid $500 for this car. So this is a car that we're going to be able to sell after we do a little bit of repair to it, a little bit of cleanup to it. We're going to sell for $2,000. We have not been able to do this in the last 3-4 years. This is the car market I want to get back to, where dealers are not even speculating on a lot of these vehicles. So we're able to swoop in, get everything that's fallen through the cracks, give our customer a cheap car, A to B. This is what it is. It's only $500. That's what I paid for it. So now, where do I think the car market is going from here? Well, I think it's going to be a lot of the same all throughout the year. So right now, consumers, they can't afford to pay these crazy car payments. They're not signing up for them. These car dealers are going to continue to not be able to sell things. We're seeing a lot from like these Stellantis dealers. Days of inventory stacking up and up and up and up, and consumers are just saying no to these higher prices. You're going to have to see a lot of these dealers come off their prices. You're going to have to see manufacturers offer more incentives. You're going to have to see manufacturers actually lower MSRPs if they want to move cars. But here's really the problem. Yeah, we're able to buy more cars here because we're inheriting more cars just because prices have gone down to get down to my $5,000 price point. But the problem is we still need volume, we need velocity of money to go through the system. So here's the problem with the car market. If new car dealers aren't selling cars, they're not getting trade-ins. Those trade-ins aren't coming to auction. So unfortunately for consumers, unfortunately for dealers, I feel like as a whole, the used car prices are going to stay stubbornly high because the amount of volume that we need to push prices down on the used car side is not there. So we're either going to need more volume coming into these auctions for used car prices to go down in a substantial way, or we need dealers to be hurt even more. So Unfortunately, I think towards the end of the year, I don't think we're going to get a lot more volume from these auctions because I don't think these new car dealers are going to sell any more cars. But what I do think is there's going to be more pain on the dealer side. So I do think that is what's going to continue this trend of just really downward moving used car prices, both on the wholesale level and eventually the retail level. I know I see it a lot in comments. Okay, you guys aren't seeing prices come down. Well, you're going to have to find the right dealer. And in a lot of cases, these dealers, if they're hurting, if they're leveraged up, they really can't lower their prices because they owe more money on a lot of their vehicles than they are even able to sell them for. So what we've seen pop up in a lot of these, a lot of cases, a lot of auctions, we're starting to see floor plan companies, the lenders for these dealers actually repossess cars from these dealers and take them to the auction. We're seeing more and more and more of that. So what that tells me is that dealers are hurting and they can't lower their prices because they owe too much money on their vehicles. So yes, you who are saying that you're not seeing prices come down, there's probably some truth behind that. Not because prices don't need to come down, but literally because these dealers can't. So I do think from here on out to the end of the year, we're going to have a slow grind down. I think the lower end of the market is, as far as dealers like me, there's not a lot of them out there, but the dealers that are out there that are selling cars in the range that I am, I think they'll continue to thrive just because that's where the consumer is going right now. And it's a great thing for us, but the unfortunate thing about it is the better it gets for us, probably the worse that it's getting for our economy. So that's my take on what is happening right now, what I'm seeing right now in the car market, and where I think things are going. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks.